The Foreign Affairs Department is taking its time in resolving issues with Kuwait over the suspension of entry visas for Filipinos. But the department insists that OFW protection will not be compromised in the process. Agriculture Group Sinag is flagging a possible shortage of white onions in the coming months. Sinag says supply is expected to last only until July, prompting the need to import. And we'll catch up on the Philippines standing in the Southeast Asian Games following Gilas Pilipinas' shock loss to Cambodia. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your weekend. I am Mon Gualvez. We begin today's newscast with the Farmers Group warning that the country's white onion supply could last only until July. Agri Group Sinag says the country may have to import at least 7,500 metric tons of onions to prevent price increases in the market, just like what happened last December. Meanwhile, Sinag also voiced their concern over the pricing of biofertilizers in DA's Memorandum Order 32. Sinag Chairman Rosendo So told The Big Story that there is no basis for the DA's pricing of inorganic and biofertilizers. Sinag also claims that the biofertilizer being pushed for bidding has not been tested on crops.
Yung MO na linabas, medyo mataas nga yung presyo ng urea. Dapat, kasi kakatapos lang nila yung consultation with mga regional director. So, alam nila yung updated price ng urea. Yung pinost nila dun sa itong PhilJet, hindi pa tested. No? Pero yung iba kasi kung hindi tested, hindi natin alam talaga if it will help.
Former Senator Laila De Lima is now left with only one drug case blocking her freedom after she was acquitted in her second drug case on Friday. Justin Punsalang with the details.
Former Senator Laila De Lima happily waved to her supporters outside the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court after being acquitted over the illegal drug trading charges filed against her. This is one of the remaining drug charges filed against the former senator. According to her legal counsel, Attorney Bonita Cardon, De Lima was grateful for the court's decision.
Kung narinig niya na siya ay acquittal, siya ay napaluha. At siyempre, tuwan-tuwa, nagpapasalamat talaga siya sa hukuman, nagpapasalamat siya sa mga kababayan natin, nagpapasalamat siya sa inyong mga media na sinabi niya hindi siya pinabayaan at patuloy na sumama sa kanyang laban sa panggigipit.
Cardon said that among the reasons behind the decision to acquit De Lima was the lack of positive evidence. The retraction of former Bucor OIC Rafael Ragos's allegations against the detained former senator proved significant in her acquittal. This was also why De Lima's political ally Attorney Chel Jokno knew that she would be able to walk free soon.
Ultimo, nasa kamay ng judge yung desisyon na yan. But based on my reading of the evidence, there really was not enough evidence to convict her. Dahil nung nawala yung testimonya ni Ragos, ay wala na rin basehan yung kaso.
Ging Quintos Deles, who previously worked closely with De Lima, said that she felt both happy and hurt upon hearing the judge's decision.
Ibang klaseng saya, no? To finally, kasi syempre that was our hope, no? At alam ko all of this time naman na hinihintay namin ito sa lahat ng nangyayari. We were sure of her innocence, pero iba talaga yung narinig mo yung judge finally saying it.
De Lima's supporters were also unrelentless. They cheered on the former senator when they found out that she was acquitted. They said they never doubted De Lima's innocence.
Dahil alam po namin na wala pong ginawang mali si Senator.
Naniniwala kami na si Senator Laila De Lima ay inosente at napakahusay na senadora na kailangan natin ngayon ng ating bansa.
Meanwhile, Progressive Group Movement Against Disinformation said De Lima's acquittal was a proof of how truth will always trump dis and misinformation.
Could not imagine the judge making any other decision when such testimony The only testimony against her was discredited with the recantation. We're happy, truth prevailed. However, we have to ask the question, why did she stay in jail for 6 years with the result in the end to be acquittal?
De Lima will remain detained in Camp Crame while waiting for the resolution on her camp's petition for bail over the last illegal drug charges against her. For News 5, Justine Bunsalang. We are One News.
The Foreign Affairs Department said it will not compromise the safety of OFWs in resolving visa issues with Kuwait. The Kuwaiti government is suspending the issuance of entry visas for Filipinos, saying that the Philippines had violated a labor agreement. Recall that back in February, the Philippine government banned the deployment of domestic workers to Kuwait following the murder of Julie B. Ranara by her Kuwaiti employer. Speaking to The Big Story, Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo De Vega noted that they will have to compromise on some things with Kuwait, but not the welfare and protection of Filipino migrant workers.
To enter into some compromises, but we'll be clear on this, no? We cannot compromise on certain items. Also, we will not simply lift our suspension of deployment of household workers until we first see some improvement, or we could be assured of some change in the conditions for our workers.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I am Juan Gualvez. Gilas logged their first loss in the 32nd Southeast Asian Games after being dragged by Cambodia. Here's the report.
Dorsey
now.
attempt. And he gets a good bounce.
Gilas Pilipinas started off flat in their much-anticipated matchup against Cambodia in the 2023 Southeast Asian Games. Despite the team being used to physical play, the Pinoys looked surprised upon facing the naturalized players of the home team. At one point, Gilas went down by as many as 19 points. Christian Standhardinger top scored for the Philippines with 14 markers and 11 rebounds. But our naturalized player Justin Brownlee looked exhausted and unsteady due to the intense heat in the venue. Brownlee just finished with 10 points on 3 for 13 shooting.
In his words, he feels smothered. Hindi siya makahinga. So that's a real problem. Hopefully, the longer he stays here, the more he gets used to the conditions, the more his body will acclimatize to it. That's our hope. But you know, we're not a one-man team. The others should also pick up the slack.
Darren Dorsey, Syed Pridget, Brandon Peterson, Dwayne Morgan, and Darius Henderson led Cambodia's run and resulted to a 79-68 win over the Philippines. To add to that, drama ensued in the latter stages of the game after the Cambodian team called a timeout despite the game being out of reach.
That's just an unwritten rule. It's just coaching. It's not even coaching ethics. That's just ethics. It's just ethics, right? So, you know, if the other coach wants to make a fool of himself, then that's on him. That's not our problem.
Sports patron and Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas Chairman Emeritus Manny V. Pangilinan took to social media to express his dismay over the result of the game. He described the game as embarrassing and pointed to SBP to ask what happened with the team. With the loss, Gilas dropped to a 1-1 record in Group A. They will next face Singapore in a must-win showdown to enter the semifinals.
Ni ma'am, there's a double team nakaabang na to a cutting three na Goitinko who gets the basket.
Meanwhile, their women counterparts remained undefeated in 2 games after another dominant win, this time over Singapore. Gilas women carried over the momentum from their 60-point win over Cambodia in their opener and notched a 94-63 win. 4 players scored at least 10 points, led by Kate Castillo's 14.
We're feeling good. I mean, we're on track pa rin.
If you happen to see the game, it's basically just started slow and siguro medyo confidence, but the thing is a little bit pushing second half. The result is there.
The country continues its quest for a 3rd straight women's basketball gold medal against Vietnam. Unlike the men's tournament, the women's side has a single round robin format. The team owning the best record will be declared champions. Another gold was added to the country's gold medal haul in the SEA Games. This time, it was from Eric Ray, who continued his reign in the men's 400-meter hurdles event. This is the 6th straight gold for Cray in the event and 8th overall in his SEA Games career.
When I come out here and I run for God and my mom. And I love to represent the Philippines, so that's why I'm always here. If I'm healthy, I'm going to be here. I love repping the Philippines and holding up the flag.
For News 5, Ian Suyu, we are One News.
Meanwhile, Team Philippines has secured more medals in the 32nd Southeast Asian Games. The track and field men's team won gold in the 400-meter relay against Thailand, while the women's team claimed silver in the same event. The women's team, composed of Robin Brown, Bernalyn Behoy, Jessel Lumapas, and Maureen Scrugevers, also braced the record set by Philippine track legends Lydia De Vega, Elma Muros, Perla Balakutan, and Rhoda Senoro in the event. Meanwhile, the Philippine Taekwondo team finished with a bronze on the sports team freestyle event. Juvenal Crisostomo, Zaika Santiago, Jordan Dominguez, Kobe Macario, and Darius Venerablo delivered the medal for the Philippines. In billiards, Carlo Badio and Johan Chua are assured of at least a bronze in the men's 9-ball doubles after dominating Vietnam 9-2. The pair will take on Myanmar later today in the semis. Tennis pros Ruben Gonzalez and Francis Alcantara secured the podium finish after their semis doubles games against Vietnam on Friday. This is the duo's 5th stint in the SEA Games and their first as a doubles team. This is the Philippine Aces' lone podium finish with the tennis team down a few key players.
Tired and happy. Really tough first set, and I thought we played really well in the second set.
We're just happy that we got through, and hopefully we're hoping for the best for tonight.
With that, the Philippines is at 6th place in the medal tally of the SEA Games. The team has a total of 160 medals with 31 gold, 56 silver, and 73 bronze. Still at top spot is Vietnam with 219 medals with 71 gold. At 2nd place is Thailand, followed by Cambodia, Indonesia, and Singapore. Below the Philippines is Malaysia with a total medal haul of 124 with 28 gold medals, followed by Myanmar, Laos, Brunei, and Timor-Leste. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I am Mon Gualvez. We are One News.